what I try to get into an IRB meeting is inclusiveness, is getting everybody to speak. And it doesn't work, but that's the goal. Many of our meetings last for far longer than they're supposed to. And people have told me, these meetings would be faster if you would just, move the conversation along and, cut somebody off. And if you're going to be there for a 4-hour meeting, the way to do that is, the way I would do that is because I have some fun talking. And if you cut people off, if you don't give them their say, in addition to it not being fair to not give somebody their say, but it's also not fun for them if they can't be on the floor. So I try to include people and I try to let them say their piece. And sometimes that perhaps goes over the edge and the meeting lasts too long, but it is what it is. I've worked with a number of spectacular community members. And a lot of it comes from within them. I think in many cases with those people, all an IRB chair has to do is be prepared to come to the aid, to come to defense, because there are, physicians in general. I think very highly of most physicians, but their training is to be right. And that's what you want from your doctor. You don't want your doctor to be sitting there saying, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? You want them to know what to do. And that sometimes flows over into things that perhaps they don't really know what to do. So one thing that's commonly said about physicians is they're often wrong, but they're never in doubt. So you have, as an IRB chair, with a community member is already strong, all you have to be prepared to do is defend him or her if they come up against a stronger or a louder physician or a louder non-community member. With the other ones, it's sometimes very hard to get them to speak in a group. And in many cases, the right answer to that is to say, maybe this is not for you. Sometimes a good compromise is to talk to them offline. And so I tend, partly because I don't sit very well, but I'll wander around the room and I'll stop behind a community member and say, what do you think of this? Or did you get your say on that? And then, if they say, well, I'm still a little bit unclear, then I can go back up to the front table and say, okay, we're going to go back to this point because so-and-so wants to comment. Comment, it's your turn now. And, then it's, to a certain extent, their responsibility to comment as well. So I think what you've got to do is authorize people to speak. I think it helps also, although it's a very hard thing to do, to force people to speak. But I think authorization works in most cases. Most people, being on an IRB is a voluntary thing. So if you're incapable of being in a room with physicians without being deferential, you're not going to agree to be on an IRB. The people who agree to be on an IRB and stay on an IRB are the ones who at least feel like, I know what's going on. I may be a little bit scared of saying it, in which case, having a chair that authorizes you to speak and defends you when you speak is all it takes.